If Samsung wants the Galaxy Watch 9 to truly feel like a meaningful upgrade, it doesn't need a larger battery or yet another sensor. What it really needs is to unlock the health features users have already paid for. Right now, some of Samsung's most powerful health tools still don't fully function unless the watch is paired with a Galaxy smartphone. And in 2026, that kind of ecosystem restriction makes less and less sense on Wear OS. In this video, I'll break down exactly what's locked, what still works across any Android device, and how to evaluate the Galaxy Watch 9 based on what actually matters: access. This is a tutorial-style walkthrough, so we'll go step by step. First, the specific features Samsung keeps behind the Galaxy phone barrier. Then, what you still get if you're using a Pixel, OnePlus, Nothing, Xiaomi, or any other Android device. After that, why this strategy feels outdated now that Wear OS is more unified. And finally, my one practical request for the Galaxy Watch 9. Don't add more features, remove the restrictions. Quick note before we dive in. I'm not saying Samsung's health features replace medical-grade devices. Even Samsung acknowledges that, especially when it comes to blood pressure. But clinically useful insights still have value, and the real issue here is access, not just accuracy. Step 1. Understand the limitation, because it's not the watch, it's the app. The biggest restriction isn't the Galaxy Watch hardware, it's Samsung Health Monitor. Samsung essentially splits its health ecosystem into two layers: Samsung Health, which works broadly across Android, and Samsung Health Monitor, where the more advanced, medical-adjacent features exist. If a feature depends on Samsung Health Monitor, there's a strong chance it's restricted, partially available, or completely blocked unless you're using a Samsung Galaxy phone. So when people say the Galaxy Watch works best with a Samsung phone, this is exactly what they mean. It's not just about a smoother setup, it's about full feature access. Step 2. Understand which features are locked to Galaxy phones. Here are the major ones users actually care about. 1. ECG readings. 2. Blood pressure tracking. 3. Irregular heart rhythm alerts. 4. Sleep apnea detection. And the key takeaway is simple. You can buy the watch, you can wear the watch, but you won't get these headline features unless your phone is also part of the Galaxy ecosystem. That's the part that feels counterproductive, because Samsung markets the watch as a premium health wearable, yet the best tools are treated like ecosystem exclusives. Step 3. Know what still works on any Android phone. To be fair, pairing a Galaxy Watch with a non-Samsung Android device doesn't make it useless, not even close. You still get the core health and fitness features most people rely on daily. That includes heart rate tracking, sports and workout tracking, basic sleep monitoring with stages, activity metrics, and even body composition analysis. On top of that, you still get the standard Wear OS experience: notifications, apps, Google services, and everything you'd expect from a modern smartwatch. So if your goal is tracking workouts, monitoring sleep, and closing activity rings, the Galaxy Watch works perfectly fine, even with a Pixel 10 or other Android phones. But if your goal is accessing advanced health insights, that's where the limitations become obvious. Step 4. Understand why this approach feels outdated on Wear OS. Timing matters here. Wear OS used to be fragmented, where different brands offered inconsistent experiences. Back then, limitations like these were expected. But in 2026, Wear OS is far more unified. The expectation now is simple. Your experience should follow your hardware. If you bought the watch and your phone runs Android, you should have access to the watch's full capabilities. Look at the competition. Google's Pixel Watch generally keeps its core health features accessible across Android, not just Pixel devices. Garmin operates in a largely platform-agnostic way. If your phone is modern, it works. Even smart rings like Aura and Ultra Human connect seamlessly with almost any device. That's the competitive landscape Samsung is up against. This isn't just about encouraging Galaxy phone purchases, it's about making the watch less appealing for a large portion of Android users. Also, to be clear, region-based restrictions for advanced health features are normal due to regulatory approvals. That's not unique to Samsung. The real issue is stacking phone-based restrictions on top of those regional limitations. Step 5. Make the right comparison to keep things fair. People often compare this to Apple Watch, so let's address that clearly. Apple Watch only works with iPhone. That's a closed ecosystem by design, and users know that up front. With Samsung, it's different. Samsung sells a Wear OS smartwatch that pairs with Android broadly, but then selectively restricts key features unless you're using a Samsung Galaxy phone. That's why it frustrates users. It's not that the watch doesn't support their phone. It does. It's that Samsung chooses to disable premium features. In other words, it's compatible but not complete. Step 6. Set realistic expectations for the Galaxy Watch 9. Looking ahead, the early picture of the Galaxy Watch 9 feels familiar. Similar sizing, similar battery expectations, likely a new processor, and the usual software refinements with AI-driven insights and improved accuracy. Samsung will market these as meaningful upgrades, and some of them will be. A faster chip improves performance, better algorithms enhance tracking, and refinements always matter. But the reality is incremental spec upgrades are less important than unlocking features that already exist. If Samsung wants the Galaxy Watch 9 to be the go-to recommendation for Android users, the biggest upgrade it can deliver isn't hardware, it's policy. Step 7. The blood pressure example highlights why clarity matters. Blood pressure tracking is a perfect example of how complex this situation is. Samsung has clarified that its Galaxy Watch blood pressure feature is not FDA-approved in the United States. Instead, it's positioned as a general wellness tool, not a medical device, aligning with FDA wellness guidelines. This leads to two key takeaways. First, it shouldn't replace a medical-grade blood pressure monitor. Samsung clearly states that. Second, it can still be useful for tracking trends and identifying patterns over time. These insights can help users decide when to consult